My bitter sister-in-law called Adult Protective Services, claiming I was abusing her elderly father. She was the one who ended up leaving in handcuffs. My sister-in-law, Brenda, always believed she was the ultimate authority on health and how everyone else should exist. When my wife and I moved her 82-year-old father, Arthur, into our home in Boulder, Colorado, Brenda lost her mind. Arthur has early-stage Parkinson's, but he is mentally sharp and independent. We let him live his life. He enjoys a cold beer on the patio, eats spicy chili, and skips his morning walks if his knees ache. We live in a vibrant neighborhood where he chats with the mailman. Brenda, a self-proclaimed holistic nutritionist, insisted we were killing him. She would drop by unannounced, throwing away our groceries and replacing them with kale chips, leaving passive-aggressive pamphlets about vegan elder care on our kitchen island. Every conversation with her felt like an interrogation. She acted like every choice we made was evidence of severe neglect. My wife's family always defended Brenda's extreme behavior. They claimed she had a big heart and worried too much. But Brenda wasn't worried. She needed to prove she was the smartest person in the room. Things escalated last November. At $4,500 a month for Arthur's specialized physical therapy, we made sure his medical needs were met. But one Tuesday afternoon, at exactly 4:15 p.m., Brenda drove past our house and saw Arthur on the porch eating a massive bacon cheeseburger from his favorite local diner. That was her breaking point. 4 days later, an investigator from the state's Adult Protective Services showed up at our front door with a uniformed police escort. I thought there had been a mix-up with the address. The investigator stepped inside and stated they had received an anonymous tip. The caller claimed Arthur was being intentionally starved, locked in an unheated basement, and denied his vital heart medications. My wife was speechless. The investigator spoke privately with Arthur, checked his medication organizers, and inspected his immaculate climate-controlled ground floor suite. Arthur chuckled, offering the officer a soda and explaining his daily routine of crossword puzzles and Western movies. The investigator left an hour later, apologizing profusely for the intrusion and closing the case on the spot. But that wasn't the end of it. The investigator contacted me 2 days later because the anonymous caller had submitted physical evidence. Brenda had mailed in a log of dates and times she claimed we had abandoned Arthur, along with a digital audio file of him supposedly crying out for help. This is where her arrogance destroyed her. The dates she claimed he was left alone matched perfectly with the digital entry logs of his private in-home physical therapist, who signs in using our biometric smart lock. Even worse, the audio recording she submitted had the unmistakable background chime of the antique grandfather clock that sits in Brenda's own hallway. She had spliced an old voicemail Arthur left her a year ago. When the police realized she had manufactured evidence to trigger a state investigation, things moved fast. Filing a false report of elder abuse with fabricated evidence is a felony in Colorado. I didn't confront her directly. Instead, knowing she loved an audience, I waited for the family's annual Thanksgiving Zoom call, which we hosted since relatives were scattered across the country. Brenda logged on looking smug, expecting us to be terrified of the ongoing apps case. Before my mother-in-law could ask about Arthur, I shared my screen. I displayed the official police warrant detailing the forged audio evidence and the pending felony charges for filing a false report to a state agency. The digital room went dead silent. Brenda's camera clicked off, but not before the entire extended family saw her face drain of all color. Nobody rushed to defend her this time. The fallout was swift and brutal. Because the police investigation revealed Brenda used her wellness clinic's official letterhead to file the fake medical reports, the state medical board audited her practice. Within 3 weeks, her operating license was suspended indefinitely for gross ethical violations. She didn't just lose her reputation with the family. Her entire career evaporated overnight. Life in our house is peaceful now. Arthur still sits on the porch, eating whatever he wants and waving at the neighbors. We installed a mini fridge in his room so he can keep his favorite snacks safe from anyone's judgment. Brenda is currently facing massive legal fines and trying to liquidate her clinic's equipment to afford her defense attorney. My mother-in-law recently called, crying, asking if we could somehow drop the charges because family should always protect family. I calmly told her that family doesn't weaponize the government against a dying man's happiness. She hasn't called back since.